a little bit complicated, but I guess it'll work. All right, it says broadcasting now. Are we good?
It says live in the corner.
All right, let's just give it 2 seconds. I'm just going to double check everything. It's working.
I can share the YouTube link, I guess.
Yeah.
Geeking out again.
Oh, I hear myself. That's not nice. All right.
This is the right one. I'm guessing this is the right one. It is the latest link, I'm guessing.
Yeah, all right. I have way too many windows open now. But
there we go.
This should save it on YouTube as well. We'll try it. Fuck it. Otherwise, we'll do something else. And maybe in the future, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, all right. So let's do it. This is like the old days.
This is
the very European, good company, Scarf Boy, Peter Mortensen.
Oh, yeah. Very European?
Yeah, didn't you get a YouTube comment once that was like, he's very European?
Probably. I was called Scarf Boy, which made me happy. But yeah, the good old days. This is just trying to figure out the camera here. Yeah, we had a thing on GRTV called Good Company.
Yes.
Oh, well, we had a lot of stuff on GRTV, but on Good Company, we could just sit down and talk about whatever we felt like.
Yes.
For once.
Which was awesome.
Which was mostly Star Wars and Call of Duty for some reason. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
All right. I should pry this up some. I'll do that. All right. So I think the first time, the first thing we should talk about.
What could it be?
Yeah, what can it be? Star Wars. And I'm gonna start out with a thing that I'm actually not sure that you saw before it all happened. The convention in Anaheim is there, Celebration, and people started queuing up. From what I understood, they had tickets to get in. It's just a matter of they wanted to make sure they got into the theater for the presentation, and they wanted to get the good seats for that.
Mm-hmm.
People were camping outside the convention hall for over 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then the night before, they started in the morning. In the evening, they opened up the convention hall actually for people to get inside and camp inside. And J.J. Abrams bought 1,500 pizzas for the people in line.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
That was really nice.
So you had heard that?
I did hear that. And it's they made a thing. Did you see the panel?
I did.
And just thank you for the pizza.
Yeah, that was awesome. I actually went to the cinema here in Denmark where they were streaming, which was really cool. So the streaming part, I guess, is pretty much like you will see it at home, but it was with like 100 or 200 other Star Wars nerds, so people were cheering, and we got free beer, and we got a poster, which I guess I could show. I have it right here, which is pretty cool. It looks like something that you normally would get at like the convention. I don't know if you can see it. It's like cool art stuff.
Oh, nice.
So that was pretty nice.
I saw they had those posters in London. I wasn't sure they had them everywhere.
Yeah, apparently they've been streaming to like cinemas around the world, and they actually showed a picture during the streaming where they showed the different countries. So they showed Denmark on there, which was cool as well.
Yeah. They only had it in Stockholm here, of course, which would have been a bit.
It said here that it was really tough to get to Denmark at all, and there was a lot. They had 2 security guards in the cinema checking that things were going like it was supposed to. When they screened so the whole thing happened, and after the second trailer is coming out, the second teaser, and they ended the stream, and they were like, "Yeah, they're not going to stream the trailer," and we'd sat there for over an hour. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me! Like, we should not watch a panel without the trailer." And then they waited like 5 seconds, and then the guy was like, "Oh, we have it on this thing in higher quality." I was like, "Oh." But so just doing that, they said that the cinema director was there, and he said that they had tested it earlier in the day, but he was not allowed to be in the room. Like no one was allowed to be there except security.
Oh,
check the trailer, and so it was like usual Star Wars stuff, super tight security. But yeah, let's get to the meat of it. We watched the trailer, but what do you think?
I was just so my telephone is ringing. What am I supposed to do about this?
I don't know. I just got a tweet from you.
Yeah, I know. I just tweeted the link. I'll call you later. I was really happy. I was out for the streaming. I wasn't able to be there. So I'm really happy that I managed to get home without look. I didn't dare to look at Facebook or Twitter or anything until I managed to get home,
Yeah,
sit
good idea.
down, find the recorded stream, which wasn't very easy. I actually had to click my way through quite a lot of links before finding the archived actual thing.
So you watched the whole stream before you saw the trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I'm really glad I did, because
Yeah.
the picture of Han Solo and Chewie kind of spread like wildfire.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I got that. Did you see because one thing they did during the streaming, which I thought was kind of sad, was that they cut away after they never went back to the room after they shown the trailer.
Yeah, but for us, the stream ended, and then they were like, they're not going to show the trailer." And then we saw the trailer, and then it was actually awesome because then we saw the trailer. It was amazing. Then the official lead Disney guy in Denmark, like got up and was like, "We should watch that one more time, right?" And then people went nuts, and then we saw it again. So that
Yeah.
I mean, the stream for us were over. So yeah, but I've seen trailers or clips afterwards where people react to it.
Yeah,
but we sort of had our own thing in the cinema anyway. So.
Yeah, that's true. Because I really wanted to see that, and it was really awesome to find a clip of it and just see the way that when the Falcon goes into the Superstar Destroyer,
Yeah.
and the image goes black, and it seems like the audience thought, okay, that's it, it's over, because the last trailer ended with the Falcon doing the whole stunt thing, and just, like, people start cheering, and then you hear like Chewie. And just the silence, like thousands of people just going silent like that.
Yeah.
And like taking a breath and then letting it out after he said, "We're home." And just the amount of cheering, just fantastic. That gave me goosebumps.
Yeah. I wonder if we could test, like, I imagine around the world that moment, the amount of goosebumps and tears that were shed, like, at that split second must be insane.
Have you seen that one with Matt McConaughey reacting to the trailer?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm good at feeling nostalgia. I'm really prone to nostalgia, but I'm not very prone to crying.
Yeah.
But I was really close after that.
Yeah, me too. I almost cried during the panel, actually, some of those moments, like where they were bringing people out and seeing people together. And then, I mean, they will always do that, where they're like, "Oh, we're so thankful and the fans are nice and stuff." But it felt genuine, and like seeing Peter Mayhew there, who could barely walk, and like Mark Hamill was like helping him out, and all that stuff was amazing.
Yeah, but considering how Peter Mayhew been interacting with the fans over the years as well, he's really active on Reddit, for example.
Yeah,
he seems like such an awesome, warm guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was heartbreaking to see him in the shape he's in right now. I think he had like some form of, he was ill just very recently, like really badly. So I think it's still a bit shook up from that.
Actually, let me test. There's something with that we can post like links in here, or
we can
like
actually
watch it together or something.
I think we can do like this actually. Hang on. That's not working, is it?
It was. It
was. Okay, let's go back. Let's see it. Just
yeah, let's do it. Hello, can you hear me now? Oh, so there's a push to talk. All right. All right, so I don't know if you saw, but there's like a button push to talk during the video, and then it'll fade the
Yeah,
thing
I thought.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's cool. All right, I actually think we should go. Can we go like frame by frame?
I think so. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean, yeah,
No, not yet. Well, just push to talk, and then it.
yeah. We can both move the
Yeah,
thing
that's
around.
this is awesome, actually. All right, so first off, this thing where what do you think of that? They're going away from Tatooine and onto this planet called Jakku.
I actually really like it. It was a bit of a surprise. It should be said. Everybody was so certain it was Tatooine, and
Yeah.
I think it's nice in the way that just. I mean, everything is always circled around Tatooine.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just nice that for they.
At first, I was a bit annoyed, but then as soon as I started thinking about it, I was like, this actually makes a lot of sense because it's sort of crazy. Not only is everything on Tatooine, it's also within a very short like area, like few miles, that most things in the universe like take place on Tatooine, which is sort of crazy. Like, and the fact that after Anakin being from there, and then a city a little bit over, like then Luke is from there, and like he's hidden there, and then we go back to it again. That it's sort of insane in a way. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that they're going away from that.
It's just gonna be. It's really gonna be interesting to see. Also, they open up a whole new planet in the story. Just getting a new planet is in the now official canon is awesome. It's going to be really interesting to see what the background is. They have a whole new. It gives them new opportunities to create cool new lore around a brand new place while still keeping the entire desolate feel of everything still intact, and just finding out exactly why are these Star Destroyers, and obviously we can see now
an X-wing in the foreground as well.
In the foreground, yeah. What happened?
Did you catch the Battlefront stuff as well? Which I was actually going to come back to, but this sort of fits with that.
The Battlefront trailer?
Yeah, because they showed that and also talked about that. So we'll have the game out. It's coming out November 17th. But then November 8th, and if you pre-order a week early, we'll get the Battle of Jakku DLC for free, which is the battle of how this Star Destroyer crashed.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the trailer actually.
So the game comes out in November, and then December. We'll actually get the story like leading up to the film on how all that happened, and that's amazing. I think
that's a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah, and tying it together and all that. So I'm super excited for that.
It gives me until November to get a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, or I don't know if I'm assuming it's on PC as well. Upgrade your PC, maybe. I don't know if that can run it.
Yeah, but then I can't. If I have a PS4, I can play Bloodborne. So.
Oh yeah. Good.
We can talk about Bloodborne later, you son of a bitch.
Yes, I've actually had a break, but we'll get back to that. Let's see more of this muting thing. I need to get used to. All right, I didn't actually notice that in the beginning, the Star Destroyer. I was staring at the X-wing. So I want to hear your thought on some of this. So we have Luke talking about this, and some people are actually saying that they've taken the dialogue out of Return of the Jedi and just moved it around. But do you think it's sort of saying, you know, first it says my father is that Darth Vader. This shot we just saw. This is Darth Vader. The next one should be Luke. Or what do you think? Who do you think this is? It's that sort of what it's, you know.
It's what obviously that's what they want us to think. There's a couple of issues.
Luke's hand, for instance, is the first thing. Yeah.
It's much more primitive and it's much more clumsy than the one he has in Return of the Jedi.
It sort of looks like Anakin's hand in the prequels.
So I'm guessing they're kind of. Let's just put a warning here briefly, because people out there who have tried not to get themselves spoiled on anything, any rumors or leaked concept art or anything that are watching this, I'm going to start talking about that now. Yeah. So go away, I guess. With that said, I think that's what they're trying to make us think.
Yeah.
For example, when he says, my sister has it, you can see someone giving Anakin's lightsaber.
The other thing, wasn't that lost on Bespin?
Exactly. Bum, bum, bum. That's like, part of the mystery.
It's exploding in my head.
And what they're saying.
I don't want to see any spoilers, but I also can't. I know I'm not going to be able to not watch the trailers. And this whole period before we were trying to figure everything out is awesome.
Yeah. But it is Anakin's. It's Anakin's lightsaber. Yeah. It is given to someone that the trailer at least wants us to think is Leia, at least at the surface reading of it. But it probably isn't.
It doesn't look like Leia, and the hand giving looks like a tiny child alien hand or something.
Yeah.
Let's actually see that. Let's get to that.
You can see parts of her face in the first shot.
Yeah, so this is supposed to be Luke. Also, is this Mustafar or Solist or something? And then this, like, if you look at this hand, first I was like, it's a child hand. But then it looks a little bit alien-ish. I hope it's not a child, because then I'm like calling the child an alien.
No, you can actually... Let's jump here a bit. Let's see if this actually works as it should. Right. It doesn't work the way I hoped it would. In just like the first few frames, you can actually see the face of the thing giving over the...
Oh, you know what? No, fuck it. I was going to open up the trailer in a separate window and start it. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
So you can actually see the face, and it looks like an alien. It looks like the big-eyed race from the Clone Wars that I can't remember the name of, which had a very important Jedi. Damn it! What were they called? Clone Wars Jedi characters. Here we go. Let's see. Jedi during the Clone Wars.
It's not Ahsoka's race, right?
No, it's he's in the picture there, but he's not shown.
Can you link the?
I'm just trying to. It's not going so well. They have like these. They look like dreadlocks, but are basically tentacles.
Okay.
Big bug eyes. Whose name I can't remember. Anyway, we've seen, but it looks kind of like that. Oh wait, hang on. No, of course not. Because that'd be too easy.
All right, Alien, Clone Wars.
Alien, Clone Wars.
Jedi. What are you talking about? I'm sure this is riveting.
It must be. It must be fantastic.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, it's that guy. Exactly.
Is it Kit Fisto?
Yes. Exactly.
All right, let's see. Kit Fisto, and he is a male Nautolan Jedi Master. I have never heard that race. All right, so one of those.
Yeah, because you get to see others during the Clone Wars, and they have quite big eyes.
All right.
So it kind of looks like it could be one of his race. Others people have actually been speculating that it is Ahsoka.
Okay.
Which, in a way, would have been cool. Just
in a way,
not. Have you seen Rebels?
I have seen the first episode, like last night.
You haven't seen the whole thing.
No, but I'm gonna. It's like I actually haven't seen the end of Clone Wars. I stopped, and then they canceled the whole thing. So there's some episodes that didn't get made and stuff. But I'm gonna watch that and then watch Rebels. I bought the first season. I'm gonna get into it.
Wow. Okay. Then I was close to spoiling a lot of stuff.
Okay, but it was such a downer that they were like, "Oh, we're gonna stop it here." Like, what are you doing?
I think that the sixth season kind of wrapped it up in a good way. Actually, setting it up for Revenge of the Sith. So I think I'm fairly happy with Clone Wars. There's a lot of cool stuff they didn't produce, but definitely see Clone Wars and definitely see Rebels as well. I really like it.
Yeah.
See Clone Wars first though. Just finish with that and then go to Rebels. Okay, then I won't spoil anything. But
let me just bring something up actually, because I've been doing some videos like this with another guy, and he had never really watched Star Wars. Mm-hmm. He'd seen the prequels or part of them. So we sort of started making videos where I made him watch Star Wars, and then we talked about it. So we've gone through New Hope and Empire, and we're going to watch Return of the Jedi together, and then talk about it. So we talk about it, and he asks questions and critique it and stuff. And so he knew about Darth Vader. Again, spoilers, being Luke's father. But somehow I managed to up spoiling to him that Luke and Leia are brother and sister. He did not. You don't find out until Jedi, and it's so ingrained in me that of course everyone knows, and you see the hints throughout the films.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Oh," and just imagine like you don't know that. That's just so insane to me.
Yeah, that actually you kind of figure that all that stuff, all that knowledge is so ingrained in our culture in general that there's no way you'll be able to show someone Star Wars for the first time unspoiled.
So but like he didn't know that, and he was talking about like why this weird threesome with Luke and Han, and I was like, what are you talking about? So I think that's really like he saw Empire without knowing they were brother and sister. That's crazy.
So you got to see the kiss and everything.
Yeah, I guess that is. Yeah, I don't know. That's so bizarre.
All right. Anyway, let's get back to the trailer.
Let's do that.
What do you think about the Darth Vader helmet?
I think it's really cool. Again, then you start wondering what is this? Is this Luke who took the helmet out of the fire? Sort of makes sense. I started hearing people talk about this commando trooper you see later, and I started hearing some rumors about that. That it's actually again, spoilers. If you don't want to hear anything, that might happen in the film, but some people are saying that this Chrome Trooper is the leader of the troopers now, and is a big fan of Darth Vader, and is sort of very fanatic about Darth Vader, and has saved the helmet. So it's actually her who has Darth Vader's helmet, like saved somewhere on a, I don't know, in a casing or something.
That's kind of good. I actually hadn't heard that rumor.
The thing is, then I don't understand. Like, did she go down to Endor after and manage to save the helmet, or how is that going to work? So I don't know.
He did a pretty crappy job burning. He must have left fairly early.
But it's because the helmet is infused with like Sith energy or something. I don't know.
Because there's also a rumor that someone, probably the guy who actually has a name now. I suck at remembering name of these things.
Yeah, me too.
But the guy with the cross-hilt saber.
Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren? Yeah, right. That he's actually a collector of Sith artifacts.
Oh, that would be cool. I like that.
And that he's, collected, for example, Darth Vader's helmet. Also, there's also rumors, and it kind of spins out of control because of the mask he wears.
Yeah,
is so close to Revan.
Yeah, I actually don't like how he looks.
You don't?
No. Maybe it's because it's too close to that. He also looks something like some G.I. Joe sort of thing, or like Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I have liked how most of the Sith has been, I don't know, not that mask stuff. There's some sort of more class to the way they look. Darth Vader has the suit, but that's like a necessity. It's not because he wants to look like that. I don't know. So maybe I have to get used to. There's several things I have not liked that I'm more okay with now than I was in the beginning. So maybe it's just having to get used to it.
Because he does look very similar to Revan.
Yeah.
There's no denying that. There are differences between their helmets, but
Revan is not canon now, right? So
not what
Revan doesn't exist.
Not what we heard so far. What I've heard from, and this might have changed lately, but as far as I know, like BioWare hasn't really been told where their canon comes into play. Are we legends or are we not legends? So that kind of that they don't really want to answer that. and it
But
just might
didn't
be
they
that.
say like it's the Clone Wars, it's the film, like Rebels,
Yes, 100% of
and then that it, and then the Disney games now. I don't think any of the old games are considered canon actually.
The problem is only that the Star Wars: Old Republic is still it's in this weird situation because everything was scrapped and turned into Legends, Star Wars Legends, except as you say, the films, Clone Wars, Rebels, and the new books that are coming out, and any game from this point forward coming out will be canon. So everything that happens in the games from now on will be canon. The thing with the problem for a game like Star Wars: Old Republic is the fact that they're an MMO, so they keep getting developed.
Yeah. So the DLC that's coming out for
whenever there's an expansion, it
Yeah.
comes out after the purge. Does that mean it probably means that everything they do is Legends, but at the same time, it kind of falls into this weird. Are they in discussions with Disney every time they're going to release a new thing to make it fit with a new canon, or are they? Do they have free reign to do whatever because it's Legends anyway?
Yeah.
And it could be, and one, of course, fan speculation here is that the reason why they don't want to tell BioWare where if Old Republic is canon or not is because of Revan.
Yeah, okay.
Because they want to keep it a secret. I don't know.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. It feels a bit weird that they take a character from Knights of the Republic, even though it's a very popular game and it's a classic game and probably the best Star Wars game ever produced. It's still, for the general public,
I have yet to play that game. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. But what am I going to play it on?
Your iPad.
I'm not going to play that on my iPad.
It actually works pretty well.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play it eventually, but I don't know.
I've actually never finished the second game, so maybe I shouldn't say too much either.
I don't know. But so it was Xbox and PC, right? I don't know if it actually came out on Mac, but I need to play it. There's so many things.
It actually works on. I'm going to say it works on the iPad really well. Surprisingly well, actually.
I can't play that on an iPad. If I do that, then I'm still going to get into these discussions, and it's like, yeah, I played it. Well, so what do you play it on? I played it on my iPad, and then people are going to be like,
that makes no sense. But it's an awesome game, so you should play it anyway. Yeah, but it's still a kind of a, even though it's a classic and popular and sold really well, etc., for the general public, it's still a niche product. So they'd have to do a whole big thing with it. At the same time,
it's also just a matter of if they just say nothing counts, then it's way easier for them going forward. I think it's more about that.
Yeah, probably. But so I don't personally believe that it's Revan. I kind of hope that it is, but I don't think so because it'd be weird.
The way all this works for me is, like, I know they said stuff isn't canon. I just pick the stuff that I like. That's canon to me. And if it doesn't make sense, I'll make it work in my head, and that's the way it is.
You know, I have a problem with that. Because that's a lot of people reacted that way. Some people reacted with fury. They were really angry at Disney for doing this because they've grown up with what is now Legends from the Thrawn trilogy in '91 and onwards.
Yeah.
And I can understand that because I really love those books as well. And I think some parts of what is now Legends was really, really good. But what the problem I have with headcanon, yeah, that's what most people call it. Am I headcanon? You know, that happened.
But it's just like is that a cannon that shoots heads, or
there's that in my headcanon there is. But if we're going to have a discussion about Star Wars canon, that kind of, it falls apart the moment.
I think it's
well, in my headcanon, Mary-8 existed. Like,
they did the right thing. That's fine. But it's just, I don't get why people are sometimes mad about that stuff. Where I'm just like, just forget the stuff you don't like and save the stuff you like, and then it's not a problem. Like, it's the same with people hating the prequels or hating some book or hating the fourth Indiana Jones movies. Just pretend it doesn't exist and then be happy with the stuff that's there. Like, if it doesn't make sense, then whatever. Like, just be happy that we have cool shit, and then that's that.
Yeah, as long as you don't pick and choose and try to use it in an argument, that's fine.
No. When we talk about it, of course, then there's the official canon. That's what we talk about. But if there's stuff you like and stuff you don't like, then just make it work for yourself. Like, don't get upset over stuff like that.
No. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. But what was I was thinking about? Yeah, it's with Legends now, the people who are really, really angry when this happened and they felt like Disney took a dump on everything that they enjoyed. At the same time, I think those people don't realize how difficult it would be to kind of try to make new movies that would have any form of impact on the lore and have to
make everything
take
better for us. Like, if
50
we're gonna get
books.
a better book and a better film out of Disney, if they don't have to make sure everything fits together,
Yeah.
then it would just be a film that's like trying to make it work instead of making it a good film.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, or they'd have to, I don't know, actually do the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah.
As movies, and that would give them zero creative.
But they could end up doing Thrawn and saying people really like that. Let's make that work, and then they would change a couple of things in it to make it work into the universe we have now. You know?
Yeah, or just put in Thrawn as the character and
as a
let him
reference
do different
or something.
stuff.
Yeah.
I really like Thrawn, and I really wish that they will incorporate him somehow. Perhaps not in the movies. That might get tricky. Unless I can really see like the final scenes of this movie, and we don't know who's the mastermind, and then from
just see some blue skin.
Yeah, suddenly like the on one of these new fancy Star Destroyers, a share turns around in the end, and there sits this blue-hued alien with red eyes. That'd be awesome. I don't think it's gonna happen, but wow, I'd stand up and applaud.
I was thinking like end of Battlefront or something. Then he's the guy you've been fighting, like who's been commanding the troops in some battle. So they don't need to put him in the film or whatever, but you see him in a game like Battlefront, or like it doesn't fit with Rebels, but an animated show like that you see him in there or something. So it like ties together the universe. That would be cool.
Yeah, because he's a really nice character.
Yeah,
and general like the Thrawn arc continues beyond the Thrawn trilogy into a couple of others. Like Timothy Zahn Timothy Zahn made a great job with that, and so it's sad to see him go. It's sad to see him. It's sad to see Mara Jade go.
Yeah,
as well.
But I think Thrawn, without a doubt, is one of the best characters. Like, he just is. Did you read the books where there was like an imposter Thrawn?
Yeah.
That was awesome as well.
The second
second trilogy or whatever.
Yeah, the duology, the Thrawn duology.
Yeah, where like one book was basically two books. Like it was so thick.
Yeah, I think they split it up later.
Okay, yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, it's really good as well. That entire thing, like those two books and Thrawn trilogy, you have Outbound Flight as well, ties it all together. Really good books, and sad to see him go.
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens. But there's a lot of that stuff. Perhaps they could put him into books if nothing else.
Yeah. But I feel like if they just did the books again, then it would sort of be like whatever. Then let me just read the old ones. I wanted to tie him into something new.
Yeah, well, reuse him. Don't reuse the plot line or anything.
Yeah. Okay, then I would be good with that. I don't want him to just basically rewrite the books. And it's like I already read those stories, and I can't remember all the details anyway. So
no, I know.
All right, let's talk about more in the trailer. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. Then we have the dude. What was it I want to talk about? I want to talk about the Clone Trooper a little bit. There we go. There's so much stuff to talk about here. Like, it's crazy. So, went a little bit past it. Well, what do you think? Now, I said that thing that, I don't know if you read that it's supposed to be this female lead trooper. What were your thoughts when you saw this? Do you like the design and everything?
The design is awesome. It definitely, it's hard not to think about Dark Troopers, for example.
Yeah.
And somebody talked about some other, had some other point of reference, which I can't remember. But I really love the design. And I just heard it quickly mentioned, I think, on Reddit, something about a female character that this could actually be, but I don't know very much about it. So do you know who it's supposed to be?
No, I don't know. I just, again, rumors that it's supposed to be this female trooper lead, kick-ass chick. Which I also like the idea of that we will have, like we've had good female characters in Star Wars. I think people sort of forget Mon Mothma and Princess Leia sometimes, and like there are actually female characters. We've got Amidala in the new ones, but the Empire hasn't had a lot of good female characters. We saw them in prequels and in Clone Wars, like Aura Singh and stuff like that. But a big lead evil character in the new film sounds awesome.
Yes. And they made a big deal out of that during the panel, that we're going to get more female characters.
And that makes me really think that it's true that she is a female, like, special trooper.
Yeah.
The way they presented that. Because other than that, of course, the character I can't remember, one of the three that was on stage, the chick there, who was like a junkyard chick or whatever, is of course in there. But I don't think, if she was the only, like, big female character in the film, I don't think they would have presented it that way.
No, it definitely seemed like they really have taken that to heart, that criticism against the lack of female characters. And there was a lot of criticism against it as well when they showed the cast for the first time, because it kind of mimicked the way it looks in the original trilogy, where Leia is basically the only female character, at least one that gets a lot of screen time. I mean, Mothma, sure, but how much time does?
Yeah, it's true. But it's
how
like
much screen time does
I get the criticism, but it's also, I'm sort of, I mean, some people might think it's like, oh, you don't want people to criticize Star Wars, but it's more like, I know how it is to be the creative and write a story. And if Lucas wrote a story and then he has to, oh no, wait, I need to have an Asian guy and a black guy and more girls and like all this. It's just like, we can't have that all the time, everything and everyone has the same amount of screen time. And I think there are a lot of cool female characters, and we have like Mara Jade in Expanded Universe. And maybe it's because I don't just think, oh, the films, that's it. For me, it's like the whole universe, and I think of the books and some of that stuff just as highly as the film. So I haven't really missed the characters the same way.
No,
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. For me, it's kind of important. I guess I see it differently. Even though, again, the Expanded Universe was also a big thing for me, and of course, as you say, Mara Jade and other characters like that were a big deal. But I don't know, having, in this day and age, I mean, having an extra female character is not very hard.
No, I don't think it's hard, and I think it's great he's doing, or I guess it's not Lucas now. But I don't want him to do a film and then be like, oh no, we need to add a female characters to add. You know, we definitely have a problem in general in our society that there isn't enough female characters and stuff. But I think we're getting there, and I think it's in the right direction. And I also I'm so afraid of having these rules all the time about how many things of everything there should be, because I think it's only natural as well that a guy will find it natural to write about a guy, because that's what you are, and girls will write about girls as lead characters, you know, sometimes at least. But I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there's a risk this goes into a political discussion in general, so perhaps we should not have that too much. But well, either way, it'd be really cool if the Chrome Trooper turns out to be a female character, especially if, as you were saying, she collects Sith artifacts. Or
and
Darth Vader,
as we pointed out, they said at the panel, like, it was very important to them, and they had a lot of focus on it. So it sounds like there's going to be strong female characters.
Yeah, I do wonder if that's because of the criticism they got once they reveal the main casts, or if it's something that planned from the beginning.
I don't think that late in the process they're going to go in and say, let's cast some female characters.
Well, it depends if they change stuff around for episode 8 or for episode 7.
Maybe further down the. I just don't think that's. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to finding out what this one is, because this one, the look and feel of seeing this one, this character, which we know nothing about, and there's a lot of characters we know nothing about.
Yeah.
We don't know about Adam Driver. We don't know about Max von Sydow.
Yeah. Again, like, what do you think of Adam Driver?
The Clone Trooper face kind of looks like Adam Driver, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm assuming he's the Sith dude with the weird sword. Or
yeah.
Yeah,
he probably is. I was just making a stupid joke about him looking glum. kind of the shape of the mouth on the Clone Trooper kind of looks like Adam Driver, regular face.
He's so well cast for an evil dude.
Adam Driver?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see him. I'm not a big fan of Girls, the television series. I'm a big fan of Girls.
I don't like Girls in general.
That came out wrong. No, but I'm not a big fan of
okay,
the show
I haven't
Girls.
seen that.
And so for me, Adam Driver is still that guy. Is it called Adam as well? And Girls, I can't remember. But so that it's going to be. I still really haven't gotten over that yet. But I think he's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's interesting because I heard really good things about Attack the Block, but I've never gotten around to see it. And I was going to see it the other day, but now I'm like, do I want to watch that before Star Wars and then start like having a picture of John Boyega before Star Wars? I'm beginning to think I might just try to come into his role in Star Wars as clean as possible without like being influenced by other films and TV shows and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is nice to see people that I've not seen. I can't remember seeing like Oscar Isaac in anything, for example. So
he was in the Coen brothers film the other year, which I also missed out. Llewellyn Davis, something inside Llewellyn Davis.
Inside Llewellyn Davis, okay.
Something like that. Yeah, he was the lead in that.
And basically, I haven't seen anything he's in when I'm looking at it now. Oh, he's playing Ensa Banur in Apocalypse. Didn't know that. That's nice.
But they've picked a lot of sort of not totally unknowns, but people who haven't had their big break yet.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Adam Driver is the most known one.
I didn't know him.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But it is nice to again see it like fairly unseen faces.
Yeah.
I mean, Hayden Christensen, I'm guessing most people didn't know that much about. But
yeah.
Let's not talk about Hayden Christensen because.
Hey, no hate.
No hate. No.
Actually,
no.
I might want to talk to you about that one day. We'll see. Actually, I have planned a video about that because we'll get back to that another time.
All right. Fair enough.
But yeah, then Jake Lloyd I had seen in like the Arnold Schwarzenegger film.
Which one?
The one where he's like some Santa stuff. Christmas Schwarzenegger film where he's like stealing a gift or something.
Okay. I think I'm happily enough haven't seen that one.
Yeah. And then of course I was a bit Natalie Portman fan before, so
of course. And it's hard, like Ewan McGregor and
yeah, big Ewan McGregor fan as well.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, of course. Which I had mixed feel. I think Ewan McGregor was really well cast as Ben Kenobi.
And his like sort of transition from young Ben to old Ben was really great, I think.
Yes, that was fantastic.
Because when he went into that, I was like, okay, Ewan McGregor is this young guy and all this stuff, and then by the end, it was so believable to me that he was becoming older, and like the way he just changed the character was I think it was fantastic, and how he really you had that little feeling of Alec Guinness at the end.
Yeah, most definitely. Even though he didn't get that much time to shine.
No.
Except the "You were the chosen one" scene.
Yeah.
Where he actually does a great job. Anyway, well, BB-8.
That's one of the things I did not like to begin with, but I'm slowly coming around. Not a big fan, but I don't hate it. What do you think?
What didn't you...
It helps that it's like, oh, it looks so fake. Like the fact that they could actually roll him out on stage and stuff helps a little bit, but it's just, I guess the design of R2 and 3PO doesn't really make sense, like practically maybe. I don't know, especially when you hear how much trouble they always have with R2 on set. But it's just, the stuff one of the things I generally like a lot about Star Wars is I feel like most things are designed in a way where like I could see people make this to make it work in the world, you know?
Yeah.
I don't feel like a lot of the design is, oh, let's make it futuristic or whatever. It feels like stuff that someone thought, okay, I need this thing, I'm going to build it, and then that's what we see. Where BB-8 felt like a thing that someone designed for a film.
No. And the thing with BB-8 as well, and that made me kind of warm up to him, was not only when I heard that he's an actual physical prop,
yeah,
and actually working, getting to see him on stage, it was really nice. It was a good idea of them to bring him out on stage, actually show kind of the doubters and the haters that, hey, look, these are actually practical, real props. But is that he is actually at least from notes by Ralph McQuarrie for R2-D2. So it's actually an idea that is taken from the 70s, and finally they're actually able to create them. So that is awesome. True. So that's kind of when because I was skeptical at first. When you see him in the first trailer, he is reminiscent of the prequel trilogy. He's the only thing there that really looks like a prequel trilogy.
But which we should say, you were not a big fan of the prequels, or
no?
And I absolutely loved them. So,
well, I love parts of them, but as a whole, no. So seeing him the first time, I was really skeptical. But then, as that information started to come out, then I started to warm up to him, and he looks really cute in this trailer when he's peeking out. He's kind of doing something that R2 would have done. So I'm looking forward to seeing. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of personality he has as well. Because if we look at, for example, now you have R2-D2 and C-3PO, of course, and then you have Chopper now in Rebels, who's a bit of an asshole. And I wonder what kind of personality they're going to give BB-8. When you look at him here in the trailer, he looks kind of shy, kind of very careful. They kind of played him that way on stage as well.
Different personality for sure, because if they don't, then what's the point of introducing a new character when we have R2? I hope there's a reason that we have him there and it's not just R2, because that would have been good as well.
Yeah. Are we going to get R2? So.
Yeah, but it's just like, in general, a lot of these films, and I think one of the problems with something like Avengers is the amount of characters they introduce. Every time you introduce a new character, you'll have less screen time for the other characters, which is the whole thing with, like, also with female characters. Like, if there were fewer male characters, then female characters would have more time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't just spew out characters on screen. You need to have a reason for them to be there. So
the Game of Thrones problem.
Yeah. So I hope there's a reason, and I think it's totally cool with another droid character. Mm-hmm. We want more female characters and more droids. We want it to be equal, but yeah, I just don't want it to be, oh, let's have a new droid so we can sell merchandise. You know, I hope there's a reason that he's there and he's different. He's not just a copy. It's not just a young model.
There's a lot of question marks about BB-8. He's also the one that he comes to Jakku and kickstarts kind of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And where's the cast list on?
Let me.
Well, Daisy Ridley's character. They're gonna meet up, and something's gonna happen there.
What is her character's name? Because I'm beginning to remember the actor's name. Ray. Okay. So in the trailer, as we saw before and talked about, we hear Luke's talk about Vader having force powers. He has, Leia has, and then you have.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think that is? Like, assuming that's the son or a daughter, but do you think that's one of the three leads that we've seen so far? John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, and Oscar Isaac.
And then there we come back to leaked stuff, or to the leaked concept art.
Yeah.
And the scene we talked about before with Anakin's lightsaber.
Yeah.
And who is actually getting it? Because it looks from the leaked concept art, it looks like it's Rey.
Yeah, and that's what. Okay, I actually didn't know that had leaked, but that was going to be my guess that she might be Luke and Leia's. Like either
Not Luke and Leia's daughter. Not Luke and Leia's
but
daughter.
I was going to say that I meant that either of those daughter or a son was going to be it, and that it was going to be a daughter, and it was going to be so either Leia and Han's daughter or Luke and someone else's. I guess it makes sense if it's Leia's, and then Luke is like the Jedi who doesn't do any of that naughty stuff.
Yeah. I'm guessing so too. Since we've cut out Mara Jade, by now, and I'm guessing too that Rey's going to become the Jaina character from the extended universe.
Yeah.
In this film, the question there, of course, is, oh, here's my cat. Will you be on camera? No, you won't. She's right here. Hey. How did she end up on Jakku?
That's going to be interesting because she's being presented right now as just like a junk check dealer, something. Yeah. I don't know, but it makes sense why she only has a first name and no last name the way they presented her. If she's really, But it's just I'm going to be interested to see what is the reason for her to being hidden there.
Yeah, because and that's the only time I can think that it might make sense that she's actually Luke's daughter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, obviously...
Yeah, a drunken night on Coruscant or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or a crazy night on Endor.
Yeah.
Drinks were had, empires were destroyed. But what I... No, but... That's what I'm saying. It seems like it makes more sense that it's Luke's in that way, that he would kind of give her up or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have the scene in the end with Chewie, we're home, where it seems like Han Solo and Chewbacca at some point lost
the Falcon. That is true.
And finally returning back to it.
Also, I think she looks a lot like I don't know,
Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, and even more like Natalie Portman actually. But I guess that shouldn't sway it either direction. But it should that makes me think even more that she is related to Luke and Leia.
Yeah, I think we can safely assume that she's the daughter of one of them. Yeah. But and people, of course, went crazy with the cast photo from the first reading.
Yeah,
that really iconic picture now, and she's actually sitting in between Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher.
Wow.
So, and that kind of speaks for her actually being their daughter.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they didn't get twins in this version of the film.
That is also sort of crazy. But again, we don't know. Maybe there's another.
Maybe there's another again. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be. There's so many questions. I realize that now. Talking about it,
there's so much to talk about. I'm really looking forward to it. Apparently, also, we'll get it in front of Avengers next week in Denmark as well in cinema. So I'm looking forward to going to see Avengers and seeing the Star Wars trailer. And we're getting an IMAX cinema in Denmark next week.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so that's going to be good. Really looking forward to that. And it is very different seeing it in the cinema compared to seeing it.
Yeah, I can imagine. YouTube. They should show it twice every time.
Yeah. I was so happy when that Disney dude came back. I was like, let's roll it again. It's like, yes. Highlight of the day. But yeah, actually, you know what? We could talk about this forever, but let's talk about something else. I want to hear, have you watched any other movies, or what games are you playing? What is going on with Petter?
Oh, I'm just trying to reconfigure, like, oh, we're not talking about Star Wars anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure all I care about right now is Star Wars. I'm not playing Bloodborne.
I am playing Bloodborne.
No, you took a break.
Yeah, that's true. And the plan is actually to play it again tonight, or maybe tomorrow. Now that we'll see how late I'll get to it. Have you played the Souls games?
Yeah.
Okay. And thoughts? Enough that you're excited about Bloodborne?
Yes. I wasn't that big a fan of Dark Souls, to be honest.
The original?
The original.
But you like
It
Demon
drove me
Souls?
insane. And I tried. I think I played the first time around. I played it for like 15 hours. It drove me insane. I realized I wasn't having fun. Then like a year or two later, I decided to try it again, because if you look at Reddit, like the Dark Souls subreddit, it's hard not to get really hyped up about it.
Yeah.
And I tried it again, and I played it for 3 hours, and I decided, like, screw this. This is not.
That's part of why I wanted to get into it, actually. I'll get into Bloodborne. The whole thing with the game comes out and you're like together, you're discovering this world and what all the things mean, what do the items do, what do the stats do, all that stuff. And that has been really fantastic playing. And like, I actually haven't read that much on Reddit or other places. I've sort of tried not to spoil it for myself, but I've had people in the chat when I've streamed it on Twitch, like give me hints for stuff and help me out. And that's actually been, that is enough for me, that sort of stuff, that I would stream a lot of games, you know, not to get viewers or anything, but to have like 5 to 10 people there talk about things when you get there. It's the thing where if you see a Star Wars trailer, it's awesome to have someone to talk to about it. And when you get to an awesome moment in Bloodborne, you kill the boss, and then you have 5 people in the chat say, good job, or that was epic, or help you understand stuff. That is amazing. I love that.
I can imagine. Because I was really into Dark Souls 2, though. And I think I managed to get into Dark Souls 2 at a good moment as well, just getting into when people were definitely still trying to figure out the lore, since those games it leaves so much open. So that was really cool as well to sit and watch people try to piece together what's actually happened in Dragon Lake. And I really liked the second one. It fixed thing. It did a couple of things were worse. They did a couple of mistakes in it, definitely, but it also made the game more playable for nubs like me.
Yeah, I mean, they just re-released it, and I thought about going back and playing that, but I think I won't, because part of it for me was, you know, that thing being part of the discovery, and now I feel like there's almost a way you need to play it, and everything is like out there, and I might just gonna read the guide or what, I don't know. And then of course there's so many games, so I think I'm just gonna do Bloodborne, and then I guess there will eventually be a Bloodborne sequel.
Yeah, but I definitely recommend playing them.
Yeah, I might, but then I might go back to Demon Souls, actually.
Oh, all the way.
Yeah, but there's also things now that I've played Bloodborne, read up and stuff, that I think I'm glad. It's almost more friendly to new players. Like, you don't lose like how much max health you have when you die.
That's a nice change.
Really like that. There's one thing that I'm like, part of getting stuck where I am now. I've played, I don't know, 25, 30 hours, and I'm not that far, I guess. Well, I'm over halfway. I don't know. Part of where I got stuck was it got harder, and I have a weird thing where like, for instance, the first boss in the game, I quickly figured out that I could probably throw a lot of fire at it and kill it really fast. But I got stopper, and it's like, I'm not going to kill it the easy way. I want to do it proper. But I think playing these games, you sort of need to do that, because they will kill you the easy way if they get the chance.
Yeah.
But where I got to now, I felt like I could just level up a bit, and then I could probably take out some of the bosses easier. But I didn't want to just be able to take them out because I was, you know, over leveled.
No.
And then in Bloodborne, whenever you like spawn, you get the max thing you can have is 20 health potions, 10 Molotovs, 20 bullets, stuff like that, if you have it in your inventory. But if you run out of your backup inventory, then I got into the situation where I spent the 20 health potions and didn't have any saved up, or maybe like 10. So I need to go farm health potions and then go back to the boss. And it's just, at that point, it got annoying that either I need to do it every time between boss, I needed to spend like half an hour to an hour farming 100 health potions and then going to fight the boss. And especially when you're streaming it, that changes it a bit as well. I felt like it was going to be boring to do that for people to watch it. And I also felt like it's weird doing it, saying, I'm off stream going to farm and level up or getting health potions. And I think it's going to make the game easier. And I understand why you sort of need that system, because it means when you go into a boss, you don't just go in like knowing that you can get health potions over and over again and just running at it. It has like a cost.
Yeah.
But I just, where I'm at right now, I feel like it's making the game not as fun.
Oh, okay. That's fair. But I have a couple of questions. I haven't read that many reviews because I tried to stay relatively spoiler-free from the game. The only thing I'm watching, which is kind of spoilery, is Matt Lee's Bloodborne Diaries. But that's mostly because I love Matt Lee's. Is things like enemies, when you die or you come back, they respawn, all of them, right?
Yeah. So every time you either die or you go back to the Hunter stream, which is sort of the hub world, enemies respawn.
And that never, because it was the same thing in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, but in Dark Souls 2 they changed that. So
if you killed the enemy over and over again, they would stop respawning, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as I understand, it's not there. I haven't experienced it, but I haven't killed any enemies more than 10, 15 times, I feel like. Then I've moved on to the next area.
Okay. And it's 10, I think 15 was the magic number in Dark Souls.
And then generally, like, that's the max. Most times I've probably run through an area 2 to 3 times. Because I feel like it's not really worth it. You generally get to a harder area where I feel like, you have a bigger chance of dying, but you also get way more blood echoes, and then I'll just buy health potion from those. I haven't really felt a lot of places that I needed to farm health potions, which is where I'm at now. I'm at multiple places where I need to do that. I'm in the Chalice dungeons, which is really cool. That's the procedurally generated. I'm at a boss there that I could also just skip it and go to something else, but I don't want to do that. I'm in a side area in the main world that I don't need to do, but I want to kill that boss as well. So I could skip those and move past in like the story, but I found out now that there was another area that I didn't finish. That was a side area that is now locked away from me because I moved on in the story and leveled up through that. So that's the other problem that I have, where I sort of need to go replay a boring area to get health potions or level up. I can't just do it in the story, or I'll have the chance of skipping stuff.
Oh, okay. That kind of sucks.
But other than that, I think it's also, I've been playing the game a lot and I'm totally enjoying it. I've absolutely loved it, and I think just with games like that, you need to pace yourself. And I maybe started playing it when I was a little bit tired. And you need to like be up for dying and frustration and it being hard, and you know. So I think it's been really good taking a little break and playing some Destiny and then coming back, because I really want to play it. I'm going to finish it, and I will be surprised if it's not in my top 3 game of the year at the end of the year or something like that.
All right, nice.
So I do really enjoy it, and I also think the game actually is much more for me than what I hear about Demon Souls and Dark Souls, because it is. I think the faster combat and some of the other things that I've implemented in this is more my kind of gameplay. So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I really can. The main reason why I want to get a PlayStation 4 is it's Bloodborne.
Yeah, you have still not played Last of Us either, right?
No, I have one of your copies.
Yeah, so I think also playing that on PS4, it looks so much better and runs better and all that. Yay!
Here, actually, within arm's reach.
So I think getting a PS4 sometime this year, playing Bloodborne, playing Last of Us. I don't know if you played GTA, but that looks great on PS4 as well. And then Battlefront at the end of the year. And one of the other things is I'm gonna have to finish Bloodborne in the future, because in under a month I'm definitely gonna get The Witcher 3, and the big DLC for Destiny is happening. So by that time, I need to be done with Bloodborne.
You had to remind me of Witcher. Yeah. You had to remind me of the fucking Witcher. There's no way I'll be able to run it on this machine I have right now.
PS4, dude. PS4.
I know, but I can't afford one. It's rough, but that's the way it is right now.
Yeah. I know.
The Witcher 3. Oh god.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But you know, the 2 things I'm looking forward to in the near future is The Witcher 3 and then the DLC for Destiny, and it's coming out the same day.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I'll probably save The Witcher a couple of days and play Destiny, because that is multiplayer focused, and I need to play it with the friends I have that play that game. and sort of enjoy that. Where I feel like The Witcher, I can hide a couple of days and then not read Reddit about The Witcher and sort of still get the sort of experience, hopefully.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not going to sleep that week or something. I don't know.
That's one solution.
Yeah.
I actually started. A friend of mine came over this weekend, and we started to play XCOM again.
Okay. The recent
new one.
release? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we started playing Enemy Within, the new expansion. That was a lot of fun. I've actually, when I looked at my Steam stats, I realized that I bought the game and then I played it for 2 hours.
Which is how it is with a lot of games, right?
Yeah. But I never really got into it. And again, thanks to Matt Lees and his Sponge Squad videos, I got really, really wanted to play it again. And a friend came over and we sat here all night. It's just so what they've actually managed to do is really capture stuff from the old games. I don't know. Did you play the original one?
I didn't play I played the original of the new ones. I never played the old ones. I played Enemy Unknown. Was that the?
That's the first one.
Yeah, I played that and the sort of reskinned extra stuff version that came out, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, Enemy Within.
Yeah. So I played those two.
Okay.
And right. It's one of those things where I enjoy it, but I don't think it's ever a game that I'm going to play for like a million hours. But it's also, I guess it's more of a time thing. And, if it's not in your top 5 games, then how much are you going to spend on it? But I definitely liked it, and liked it more than I thought. But it's also sort of a system and a kind of game you have to get used to and get into a little bit, just like Bloodborne for me.
Yep. It's just what they managed to capture from the old games. Me and Richard, the guy who came over, we used to play the original one, Enemy Unknown, or Enemy, XCOM Enemy Unknown, Enemy Unknown, the original one back in the 90s, and absolutely.
Oh, is that the one from the 90s?
Yeah, the real original one.
But the new one that came out like 2 years ago was also called Enemy Unknown.
Yeah, I think they called it Enemy Unknown.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the one I played, not the one from.
No.
Okay.
But we used to play the original and absolutely loved it, because what they always managed to happen when you played the old one, and what happened, we realize now as well, is you create these stories around your characters. We of course turned on Iron Man, which is you only get one save, so everything that happens.
And permadeath as well, right?
Yeah, it means permadeath for your characters, essentially, because you can't reload. And that's the way.
I think that's the way to play it. Just like Bloodborne and Dark Souls is hard. You need to play it that hard way, or you don't get the experience that the game is meant to give you.
Exactly. Like, my character, my heavy died. I just reloaded. It's a sucky way of playing XCOM. It's not the way you should play XCOM in my mind. And we started to do that, and soon it only takes a couple of missions, and then you start to have. They start out as rookies, and you don't give them any fancy armor. You don't care about them, and then a mission later, you start to mess around a bit with their armor to make them look kind of special and give them a new name or whatever. And all of a sudden, you get these relationships to your characters. And we had this awesome team, and we kind of like rooted for them, and they were really awesome. And then we flew to Delhi to help against some alien invaders there, and at least half the team was wiped out.
Yeah.
And you see the kind of the gut feeling you get when you're seeing this finally Sergeant Nassim standing there with her big gun and her hideously green armor, and you see the aliens coming at her, and you get this gut feeling like shit, she's gonna die, and of course she died. And then a really awesome Hulk Hogan-like guy with a shotgun gets killed, and I just love that sense, and also the kind of the way the levels tend to completely devolve into these battlefields. I remember back playing the original one when only had one guy left standing. He's standing in the ruins of an old gas station. Everything is on fire. It's only him and one alien left. They're opening fire on each other. Just these really kind of cinematic feel to them, to use a cliched word. But they really managed to capture that here as well. So we're really, really satisfied with it, really happy with it. We've always wanted a remake of it that was didn't mess around too much with the formula. And if you really want that, you can always play Xenonauts. But I think these changes they've done, they are acceptable so far.
Cool. Yeah, and for people like wondering about that stuff, it's like I get why people don't want to play Bloodborne and don't want to play this sort of game, because they're like, it's too hard. And I have that thing. It's a thing that I really have to, train myself to, because I love my characters as well that I create, and I don't want them to die. And I want to perfect everything. I want all the trophies. I want 100% everything. I want the perfect thing. I want my guy to be perfect. But you just gotta accept and try to sort of. I guess it's a good way of thinking in real life as well. Things are not going to be perfect. You need to accept that your characters can die, and if you play these games and sort of accept that, I think some of the moments. The reason why it's fun to play with that is when you make it through one of those battles, then where your character could have died, it feels better than if you knew that you could just reload the save and just spawn him back in. And the same way in Bloodborne, when you kill a boss, it feels better because it was tough. If everyone just runs through every boss and kills them easy, then it doesn't feel as good. And if you knew that when you go into a boss fight, you can just kill it, no problem, it's not as cool. But when you know that when you run through an area and all of a sudden the smoke door thing comes down and it's like, fuck, I'm in a boss fight, then you're like, holy shit, I'm probably gonna die now. And that feeling when you then beat them, I had one boss where I beat him in the first try, and that feeling is just amazing. Where like you don't know if there's a boss there. I actually was like, I think there's a guy in here, and then like being ready for it's just amazing. And that's why a game like Enemy Unknown is really cool as well. Is like when you make it through some of those areas and your guys are still alive, it means way more.
Yeah, definitely. When we had a small scout UFO land in Germany, and we thought, hey, we need to level up these rookies so they can become squatties and actually get any form of personality and abilities and stuff. So let's send them in. It's easy,
It's never easy.
It's never easy. 5 went in, 2 came back. And again, it becomes this movie cliche of, the rookie finally gets to go on a mission and is really cocky and like, yeah, we're going to kick our enemies' asses. And then, he dies. Yeah. Typical silly movie cliche. But you get that there because they're rushing forward towards the UFO. Like they're going to tear them apart. And a round or two later, half of them are dead.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. I'm going to actually turn on the lights because it looks like I'm sitting in utter darkness. I'm not, but I'm going to turn on the light. 2 seconds.
Hey!
Wow, and it looks really, really white, but
yeah,
that's fine. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. That and Final Fantasy 14 as usual.
And you're playing that on the PC?
Yes.
So that would be another game that you could potentially play on the PS4. Would you be able to move your character over to that, or is that?
It's the same server, same accounts, same everything.
So actually, if I went on my PS4 right now, I could play with you playing on the PC.
Yes.
And that would be your argument for me to do that, right?
Yes. Come join me.
But yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm not going to shit on Final Fantasy, but I'm not into it.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, but also I think just with all the other games, it's like if I'm going to finish Bloodborne and get ready for The Witcher, I need to focus on that.
Yeah, and the only thing I'll never forgive you for is not joining me in Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, I'm actually regretting that a little bit because I think that would have been a game for me.
That actually reminded me in the Battlefront trailer, which we talked briefly about before. I'm gonna just open the balcony door for my cat.
Oh, I thought you were gonna open the Battlefront trailer.
No. The only thing, I wasn't that impressed with it. I mean, it's cinematically cool, and it got AT-ATs and ATSTs and got Boba Fett and stuff. Awesome. The thing that really got me going was the dogfighting between the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter in the canyon.
I was actually like, it's not cinematically cool that much. I'm just like, but it's a Star Wars game, and there's AT-ATs. Yes. That's all. I just need to see it's running. There's a Star Wars game here. We're good.
Yeah. Well, what it reminded me of was it reminded me of Star Wars Galaxy in the sense that that's the era that I like the most.
I was about to say the thing that's also cool, I think, is it's on Hoth, it's on Endor, and then the news that we're going to see this Jakku battle.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's that era where the Old Republic is cool and everything, but it's not. What's so awesome about Galaxies was that it took place at some point between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and it's just you had all that. You had the Stormtroopers. You had the Rebel Alliance wearing the clothes that we know they always wore. You could meet up with characters like Leia and Han Solo. It's just the Battlefront trailer really reminded me of that.
Yeah. And
yeah. But what have you been playing then? You've been what have you been playing? You haven't been playing Bloodborne because you took.
I have basically been playing Destiny, and I guess yeah. So when Bloodborne came out, I stopped playing Destiny. I played a little bit every week, maybe an hour or two, something like that, but not a lot. And been playing a lot of Bloodborne up until that point. Played a couple other games. I actually started playing a bit of Drive Club, often like an hour or two in the evening when I was done streaming, which I really enjoyed. And like sometimes if I was like rendering a video or something, I would like play a race because it was easy just to do one race and end up platinum in it that way, which was really cool. But I really enjoyed that part of playing Drive Club, actually, that it was so easy going in and playing a race. And it was that medium between, it was not as arcadey as Need for Speed. It was more realistic, but it wasn't one where I feel like if I'm playing Gran Turismo or something, then I need to drive like a pro race driver, and I'm not going to do that. So this felt where like I needed to brake in corners, but I could still race. So I really enjoyed playing that. I'm probably going to play the DLC more in that. But what happened this week in Destiny is on Monday we got and Tuesday we got some different news. We got Monday where they released the trailer for the DLC, cinematic 2-minute trailer, really cool trailer. We're going to get a new playable area on the reef. And I actually think if you've been playing Destiny, you would be excited about this. There's going to be this whole thing with the Queen of the Reef that looks really cool, and her annoying brother. We're not going to get a raid, which is disappointing, but there's going to be 2 new endgame modes, what sounds like a horde mode, and a new PvP kind of 3v3 thing. That sounds really cool. And then on Tuesday, we got the big patch for Destiny where they fixed a lot of stuff, fixed some of the raid stuff, changed some stuff in PvP, more vault space. Like probably the biggest maybe the second biggest patch we've had since launch, and just the way that's changed. And now you'll be able to see the date at the end of the horizon sort of thing. Prepping for that mainly has brought me back to Destiny. I reached a point where I didn't have room for any more exotics if I got them. Now I have that because they made extra room. They've made some of the modes more fun because of the changes they've made. And now, like, I want to get ready and have the stuff I want when the DLC hits in a month. So that has really brought me back. And I've actually gotten almost everything that I needed that I hadn't got before in this past week or two. Which is really cool. One of the things I was missing are like 2 guns, exotic guns, and one of the ones I was missing I actually had before, but I deleted it by accident. And it's sort of been a joke sometimes when we've been playing, where it's like the way it works. Like the last DLC, they raised the level cap and the damage cap for weapons and all that stuff. So all the old stuff you had collected in the previous raid and exotics and stuff was not as good, so you needed to upgrade those, and it cost a lot, like, of different stuff, and you need to re-level them and all this. And then I thought there was these 5 exotic weapons that you could get through bounties. I was like, if you get them after the DLC, you just get the new version. So I was like, I'll delete the old one. I'll just do the bounties again. They're super easy. That was my plan. But then I deleted the wrong gun. And just that moment where, like, oh, it was 2 hand cannons that look similar. Like, okay, whatever. I'll get it again. That was my plan for some of the exotics as well. I mean, I'll get them again. I'm playing the hard stuff a lot. I'm playing the raids. I get a lot of good drops that way. And this one gun that I deleted that way, I haven't gotten again. Like some of the other guns I've gotten 4 or 5 times. It's like, oh my god! And then the other day I finally got it again. So that was really fun as well. But yeah, it's fun that people have been some of the people I've been playing with have been dragged back in as well, and that feeling again. I think it's like Bloodborne now. When you take a break from a game and get back into it, it's more fun. Like it's good to take breaks from games.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good, and I'm looking forward to playing Bloodborne again the same way. So it's basically been Destiny the last week mostly. I think that's about it. Then like in recent, I've played a little bit of like Towerfall Ascension with a friend and stuff like that, but it's mainly Destiny. And I think the coming weeks it's gonna be more Destiny. It's gonna be more Bloodborne, and then maybe I'm planning on replaying The Order. Because I like that game. That
shouldn't take long.
Yeah, that's the joke. I actually really like that game, and I want to get the platinum, and I actually want to replay the story. I think it's sad that I get if you don't have a lot of money, paying $60 for a game, and then it's quickly over. But I think it's weird how people don't acknowledge that it costs money and it's hard to make a proper story and do some of those things. And we get a lot of hate on games for not being able to tell a proper story, and then when a game does that, it's like it's not good enough that it does that. Like people want everything, and I think that's part of why it's being like games are being like hard to catch up to stories now. I've thought that recently. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah, I think it's sort of sad because for once in a long time there was a story that I like Destiny, but the story is not really there. The lore, if you read up on it, is awesome, but they don't really tell a story while you play, and I'm okay with that because I just want to shoot aliens and talk to my friends. And like the encounter boss battle stuff is fun, and the PvP is fun, and I get cool loot. Fine, I don't pay attention to the story anyway, but I also like having a story like The Last of Us or The Order or Walking Dead or whatever, where I care about the story. So I really like that game. Yeah. But last thing I want to say that I'm probably going to play. I don't know if you've been watching Game of Thrones, but I've watched the first episode of the new season, and I really want to play the Telltale game of that.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, played the first episode. Really liked it. Streamed that on Game Reactor. I'm gonna start over. I think maybe with some friends and play that. And that's
All right, cool. I really like the Walking Dead games. I haven't played much of their other stuff, but that one seems really, really well made and really Game of Thrones-y.
Yeah, and it's a perfect fit because both Telltale and Game of Thrones is that thing where they introduce characters to you and then they kill them.
Yeah.
And the way you like do stuff and you're like, no, they're not going to do that. Oh, yes, they are. And it's a perfect fit. It's well made. It's like a side story, but still tied into the universe and everything. It's so far. I mean, I've only played an episode, but it's perfect.
Oh, cool. How many of the episodes have been released so far?
Third one is out like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So, but now I'm actually just waiting to. I streamed it with 2 friends on Game Reactor, and I think we're going to start over and play them together. That was really fun. They don't really play a lot of games, but they are big Game of Thrones fans and we play a lot of board games, and they used to do like live role-playing games in the forest, running around hitting each other with swords, and so they're very into that side. It was fun. Sort of, they were way more Game of Thrones nerds than I was, and sort of getting together that way and doing something together was a lot of fun, and having the sort of discussion and laughing together while we were playing, it was a lot of fun. So
yeah, I can imagine.
I think we're going to do that.
We actually did a live stream as well of The Walking Dead, and I think the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
I think me and a couple of friends just arguing in the couch about who to help, and
yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we didn't agree on anything. So ended up the person having the controller at that moment decides who gets to live or die. But yeah, we never finished more. No, I think we did 3. Never finished the rest. So
have you finished the first season on your own?
No,
I
That was one
recommend
of the
that.
things. Let's continue to do the live stream. Yeah, let's. When?
Yeah.
2 years later. Oops.
I'm thinking of starting over on that as well. I bought the first season on both seasons on PS4, and apparently you can't transfer your saves. I'm thinking of just starting over and playing 1 and 2. I was never like that big of a fan of it. I thought it was good, but the whole like best game ever sort of thing that people were talking about, I wasn't that high on it. But I think I still need to play it again.
Yeah, I did play quite a lot of Skyrim actually. Went back to that.
Okay.
And just modded the shit out of it as usual, as you do. And now I'm actually dropping that again. Should probably get back into it. I mean, that game really is mod. It's kind of like Minecraft. I can no longer play vanilla Minecraft. I can't just sit down and play Minecraft. You need to.
That's sort of the PC thing.
First.
I don't really have that. Well, there are some like skins and stuff on PlayStation. But
you need to mod as much as possible.
I get that.
And in Skyrim, after a while, you get into a pretty serious mod habit.
Wasn't there like Star Wars mod stuff for Skyrim as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of shit mods as well, of course.
I just feel like I saw someone who had like a shot where there was like some spaceship in the sky.
There probably, I wouldn't be surprised. There probably is. You just need to learn how to filter through the myriad of crap, especially up on Nexus. Kind of like all the nude mods and just the weird sex mods people create for that game is kind of disturbing.
Yeah,
actually. But there's a lot of good stuff, and after a while, it would be impossible for me now to sit down on like 360 and play it because there would be so much missing, and reach the point now where I'm not sure where the mods start and the original game begins. Just having a mod that makes it that you can't just go out in the wilderness unprotected, run around naked in the snow. You're gonna die.
Yeah,
you're gonna
cool.
get hypothermia, and you'll get sick. And walking down, you can't just swim around in streams because you're gonna get wet, and it's gonna get cold. And if it starts raining, you're gonna get wet and cold. So you might want to have a cloak, and you might want to have a tent and set up. And it's much more immersive than just having the original vanilla kind of Skyrim. Skyrim is incredibly. You realize that after a while. It's an incredibly shallow game. There's not much to it. Really.
Yeah, those games are like I actually never ended up playing Skyrim because of the old PS3 thing. Partly because I didn't want to support it, and partly because I didn't want to put myself through it if it fucked up my game.
Yep.
But I'm still sort of hoping that maybe they will re-release it on PS4 or something, or maybe we'll just have to wait for the Elder Scrolls 6. But I think for that game, and I had the sort of same experience with Far Cry 2, where if you can sort of force yourself to not look at the mistakes and not look at how shallow it is, it can be really fantastic. If you don't try to pull yourself out of the world, because then it can be really fantastic.
Speaking of Far Cry, you managed to ruin Far Cry 3 for me.
Did I?
Yes, I started playing. We had we were live streaming Assassin's Creed Unity, or we were live streaming Assassin's Creed for a couple of weeks on GRTV.
Yeah.
And one of the discussions we had, I think, it was for the first game. I think we started talking about
everything else but Assassin's Creed.
What?
Everything but Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Until we got told off not to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
When you synchronize on the top of the towers. You started talking about Far Cry 3 and how you did a similar thing there.
Yeah.
And so I started, and then I was talking to Emil, I think.
Yeah.
Also worked was interning at GRTV at the time, and I started talking about how much he liked the game. And I was like, okay, I've had it in my Steam library for ages, and I never played it. One of those, you pick it up on a Steam sale and never play. So I decided to, okay, let's give this a shot. I got as far as the first story mission, where you go down into these caverns to pick up mushrooms or something for some killer dude in the beginning, and then you're sent to the some stranded ship. I've never gone to the ship. I just went around on the entire Northern Island and getting all the towers.
Yeah.
And getting all the villages. And I was like, is there still a war? Because I've conquered.
But that's the best part. That's how I try to pace myself. I'm like, no, you need to do a story mission now. But I always go like find all the towers, scout all the areas, kill all the elements, skill them so I can build like all my pouches and all that shit.
I
That's the best part.
I couldn't stop. It was like, okay, I'm gonna do the next story mission.
That's not rude.
But that tower,
I get the best game out of that game.
That tower isn't that far away. I could probably get there. But now
That's
it feels
awesome.
it feels silly that there's still a conflict because I've driven those guys out. I've killed hundreds of those guys.
They don't give up that easy.
No, obviously not. But it's just.
But so you haven't done a lot of the story stuff?
No, I've never went to the ship, and I think that's the second story mission.
I think you should do it. But the sad thing about 3 is that the best part of the story stuff ends like halfway through.
All right.
Then like you have the whole boss thing,
and
then there's another boss after that. That's nowhere near as cool, and that's so disappointing. The whole second half of the game, I was just like, wait, I'm fighting this dude now, but what about Voss? Like, he was way cooler. It's so disappointing.
Oh, that sucks. Because Voss is he's disturbing.
Yeah.
To say the least. I really like him, but he's really disturbing. This camera makes me look incredibly short. I haven't used this.
Yeah, I need to sort how this is in the future as well. But this is awesome. I think I want to start doing this every Sunday. We'll see how often you have time for it. But then...
probably not every Sunday.
No, but then you'll be or something. Then we'll do it every other Sunday with you, and then we can cut Star Wars down that way, so it's not only Star Wars. Man. But then maybe
I miss talking about stories. It was
that's why I needed to get you on this for this. Of course, you're a nice dude, and I would like to do this with you, but I also knew then I could geek out about Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Can't remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah, Far Cry thing. I can't remember. Hey Ken, she's angry with me now.
But I actually think I want to wrap this up and then go play either Bloodborne or Destiny. I might
go play Bloodborne.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think I might push it to tomorrow and then play more tomorrow. I don't want to do like an hour of Bloodborne. I want to like get proper into it when I haven't. I know when I haven't played it a week, it's going to take like half an hour to proper get into it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm a little bit tired, so I might push it till tomorrow. But yeah.
I'm considering going to play Last of Us. No, I can't do that. Actually, a friend borrowed my PS3 controllers. So
you were not going to play it anyway. You still need to play Journey as well.
Right, yeah, right. Journey,
and that's also coming out on PS4 as far as
and Unfinished Swan.
Yeah, but I think that's lower down on the list. That's really cool also, but that's short games as well.
These are the games that Nick have been telling me to play now for years.
For years, yeah.
Last of Us, Unfinished Swan, and Journey.
Yeah.
I don't know why I haven't played Journey or Last of Us.
But it's probably part of that pressure as well, where if people tell you to play something, it can be hard.
I'm rebelling against you.
Yeah, but it's also...
You're not my mom!
It's also building it up in a way that I at least feel that sometimes if people talk a lot about a film or a game, sometimes I need a little bit of a space and time before I get to it, because I don't want to have everyone else's opinion like hammering on me and like making me think about. I like going into games and films without too much, preconceived thoughts about it. If you can go in more like clean slate, I feel like it's often a better experience.
I actually managed yesterday. I was watching PBS Game Show, some old episode about horror in video games, and they actually included a scene from Last of Us. And I managed to look away, put my fingers in my ears, and go,
that's good. So you still don't know how that ends.
I still don't know what they were doing.
Oh, that's amazing. There's also just... I mean, honestly, I guess now you don't have the controllers. You should just sit down and play the first half hour. If you don't cry, you're dead to me.
All right, fair enough.
But yeah, I think if you play an hour, you will not be able to not continue playing.
All right. Well, I've
been looking forward. I want you to save it for PS4.
I did get it from you.
Yeah, that's true.
With the intention of playing it. I didn't just I'll take it from him.
That actually makes me shut him up. I think I have like 20 games out, friends have borrowed that I totally forgot about.
Yeah, I think.
But you only have one of mine, right?
I have Metal Gear as well.
Do you have my Metal Gear?
Ground Zeroes. Some promo code for that.
I think that was a gift, though, wasn't it?
It could have been.
I think it was.
Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe this one was actually.
Yeah, I think if it's a PS3 copy, it was. Because who plays PS3 anymore?
Who plays PS3? Yeah. I hardly
play PS3. You don't even play it because
I'm talking about.
Yeah, you should start putting down a little bit of money every week in a jar, and then soon you'll have a PS3.
In about 4,000 weeks, I'll be able to afford. Yes.
But I also really want to play Battlefront with you. That would be amazing.
Yes, I feel that way now that I have until November to get a PS4.
Yeah, and also I would love to talk more specific Bloodborne with you as well.
Yes, I want to talk about Bloodborne as well.
There's some of those stories, dude, that is just, I love how that game doesn't give you, it's sort of like Destiny actually in that way, where it doesn't give you the details. I do think it handles it better. But it's funny how people shit on Destiny for the story stuff, and then Bloodborne doesn't really tell you anything. You need to go digging. But the way you pick up an item, and then you read the description, and then you're like, "Holy fuck! This there's a thing where someone's daughter," and I'm like, "Oh my god,
yeah.
That's crazy."
They do it so brilliantly in the old games as well. Just that sense that you don't really know what's going on except for the few basics.
Yeah.
Like in Dark Souls 2. Okay, fine. I need to go find this king, souls. I'm in this strange place where people are losing their memories. What's going on? And okay, I need to go see the king.
Yeah.
That's kind of. And before I do that, I need to collect these 4 great souls. Okay, fair. Enough. And then that's it. You know nothing about anything. And then as you start to progress, and you can see just how they build the storyline into the world, like details in the world, like that statue there, and that statue there, and that painting. And the way that everything pieced together, and that is from are just masters at creating that kind of atmosphere. And then I'm guessing that's kind of the thing with games like Destiny. There's a different. I don't know because I haven't played Destiny. Yeah. So I'm just assuming here that the difference here is that From has made a point out of it. That's the way they tell the story. While other games that might have story somewhere, but they haven't really included it.
I think the main problem for Destiny was that you have the Grimoire cards, which has all the lore, but you can't read them in game. You need to go on the phone or on the website to read them. If they had made a library in the tower, the hub world thing, and you could go read the cards that you had unlocked, would make a huge difference. But it's just, for me, I don't play Destiny for the story. I play Bloodborne a little bit for the story. I play Destiny because I like shooters and I like loot, and that's awesome, and that's all I really need. And it's also become, it's partly taken over what Call of Duty was for me, where I play competitive and when I want to play something hard, whether it's the raids or it's actual PvP. But it's also, I found out, if I want to listen to a podcast and only half play, it's really easy to go farm some materials or do some stuff that's not really hard and still get a little bit of feel from the world. So you feel like the time you put in actually matters. So I end up doing that instead of building something stupid in Minecraft, doing whatever you do when you want to do something while you watch a TV show or listen to a podcast. Yeah. So it's a game that has all the aspects in that way. So I think
I'll come play Destiny with you at some point.
Awesome. That would be amazing. Maybe for either the rumor is that there will be a big, the way they've done it, there was the release, then 2 DLCs, we'll get the second one next month, and then there will be a retail release DLC, which will probably have a Game of the Year thing, with the whole thing coming out in the fall, and then the year after we'll get Destiny 2. So maybe either for the big extra expansion retail release, or for Destiny 2, it will be...
I'll be there at some point.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think you would enjoy it.
And then I'll play with you, and I'll guilt trip you constantly for not playing Star Wars Galaxies with me.
Well, I feel like I've given more of the games that you wanted me to play a chance than you have.
Probably.
Because I played a shitload of shitty Assassin's Creed.
Shut up.
I finished Revelations, and I finished 3, and I just need to go back to 4.
You haven't finished Black Flag?
No, I need to do that.
That's a really awesome one.
Yeah, I need to do that. I did spend 10 hours in that game.
Oh, it's
again,
a start.
Mainly doing let me find the towers and all this side stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, but I do want to play that. But yeah,
It's awesome.
it does look awesome. I
Yep.
feel awesome. Yeah.
Go play Destiny.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, Petter. It's awesome, and it's like great
a lot of
chatting
fun.
with you a bit. Yeah. And I hope to see you on this soon.
Yes.
Get
we'll
that.
talk soon.
Yeah.
All right.
See you then.
Good luck. Bye.